Well, good evening. Today is Monday, August the 2nd, 2021. My name is Christine Whitlock, and I'm your host for this free meeting for scriptwriters and filmmakers. So we'll go around the room, and if you want to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and if you tell us about anything that you're working on, if you could also tell us the genre and what format it's in, like whether it's a feature film or a TV pilot or short, because people do watch this video, and then I also put in my notes so that if people are looking for anything along those lines, or if I see emails that might be appropriate for you, I'll send them off to you. Okay, Silly, you're our first one here. So tell us about yourself.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Sille and I'm from Denmark, living in Copenhagen. At the moment, I'm actually not writing anything because I have been so busy about work. And I also became a blogger for Stage 32, so I have spent a lot of time trying to act like a blogger in there. So that's basically what I'm doing at the moment.
Great. Now, Mia, are you able to introduce yourself? We don't see you right now.
Can you skip me for a second? Because I have my little one running around. I'm trying to settle in.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
I'll look for you again. Marissa.
Hi, yep. So I'm in Hamilton, Ontario. And what am I doing? Well, I have a short film that's I'm preparing for the Hamilton International Film Fest. And so I guess it's sort of in post-production now. I'm waiting to see sort of the rough, how that's going to look rough, and then give some direction and see how that goes. So that's exciting.
What genre is it?
It's a family comedy.
Oh, good. Oh, nice.
Yeah, family comedy short. And then thanks to some advice from, I think, Alex last time on my screenplay for my feature Backwards in Heels, which is also a family, feature-length family drama / comedy. I submitted it to a company that does the commercial viability rating score, because I think that will be very helpful, Alex. So thanks for that suggestion. And I've been spending a lot of time on Stage 32 networking and connected with a few people who I've met through there now on Zoom and had some nice discussions.
Good. Julian.
Okay. Hi there. Yeah, I made some progress on my science fiction script. This is my first time doing science fiction. So I took a little bit more time to really work on the world building. And kind of hammering out my outline. So I feel like I have a really good lock on what the story will be. I've come up with some stuff that's made me pretty happy about it. So I'm enjoying it. And I've been trading script reviews with my friend Gary. We think very highly of each other. So he's become one of my biggest fans lately. So we're having a great time talking and reviewing each other's scripts.
Good. Pat.
Hi, I'm in Kissimmee, Florida. That's just south of Orlando. I've been working on rewriting my thriller feature, working with a screenwriting university class that's providing prompts for looking at different aspects of it, which is really helpful. And I'm hoping to really beef this up so I can get some finalists and wins, and maybe even sell it. Outside of that, I haven't had a chance to do anything. I've been trying to organize my room, and it's just messier than ever.
Rosie.
Hey everyone, I'm in Toronto, Canada, and what I've done over the last 2 weeks, I think since the last meeting, I've attended Alex's table reads for Flow recently, so that was very good. I've been trying to keep up on the online virtual meetups, just for consistency. And I've been working on a couple of shorts, and just trying to polish that off and then trying to kind of send it around to a few contacts that I have.
What genre are the shorts?
These two are drama. So once I kind of finish those drama, I'm not sure if I'm going to try and go into like a short comedy or something like that, but I just wanted to sort of test to myself and prove to myself that I can write a decent short film and to try and get it made, because I have done some other shorts and gotten them made, but I was kind of like, So and I probably will take people's advice and try to upload it to like Coverfly or other things like that, and even maybe getting like that viability rating or something. I have to go over the notes because you guys gave me like lots of fantastic options, and it does take a lot of time. Oh, okay, wonderful. It does take a lot of time to kind of go through all of those sort of like online, I guess, options for the webinars, and just like the meetings and all that stuff too. So I'm just trying to get on top of all of that stuff, so just like piece by piece, and then I'll eventually have to go on to writing maybe like more features, but I'm not there yet. So that is all.
Good. You're able to connect with us, Anamia?
Yes. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so I am right now. I just found out in the weekend I won my first festival as a best experimental short.
Oh, great.
I just put stuff together myself, and since I have a digital camera, I recorded it myself, and I did a small short, and I just submitted it to festival. So I just won my first festival. I've been screenwriting because I wrote a book, so I've been learning how to screenwrite it into, and that's what I've been working on. But I am located in Florida, in Daytona Beach, Florida. What I'm working on is a drama TV series. It's called Running Away.
And what was the genre of your short?
It's drama.
Drama?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, Karen.
I have an extension of 2 weeks on my middle grade novel, so I'm coming to the end on that rewrite. I'm very excited about it. And I am currently also working on a pilot that is a crime dark comedy about a veterinarian. And I have another one that is a horror thriller mystery that is female lead centered about a foster kid. So and that's it.
Good. Doug.
Hey everyone. So I continue to work on my pantomime. It's a musical comedy based on Cinderella, with a virtual launch in December on Zoom. I finished going through my music catalog of over 5,000 songs in my personal collection, so that's done and behind me. I attended a full week virtual summit last week called the Actor Breakthrough Summit, which is based out of London, England, of all places, but virtually anyone could join in, and attended a workshop by a girl named Emily Grace. And she had a workshop called Think Like a Writer. So the neat thing with that was I came out with a number of different ideas from it, and I just share a few of them with you tonight. She had this one thing, and you might have heard of this before if I'm repeating it, or if maybe you've heard it somewhere. They're called character squares. Anyone familiar with the terminology of a character square? Oh, okay.
No.
So some yes, some no. So you've got your protagonist and your antagonist in any particular piece that you're writing. Your protagonists need to be compelling and interesting for the audience, whereas an antagonist is hostile to someone or something or an adversary. And what you want to do as a writer is make your story as impactful as possible. So the 4 components that they have, and I can put this in the chat afterwards, or I can send something through Christine to send out to everybody. There are 4 basic elements in a character square. So number 1, the character must have an external want, so something they want that they'll do anything to get. They will also have a superpower, item number 2, which helps them as they pursue this external want. Number 3, they'll have a fatal flaw in their character, which may be in the way of that external want, and it's definitely in the way of them achieving their inner need, their ultimate need as a character. So those 4 elements are part of it. I have a whole kind of piece that I wrote out from the workshop, which I can share later.
Yeah, maybe Doug, because
Yep.
I'm looking for people to also do presentations. Maybe you, right now we've got Alex doing the next presentation on August 16th. So maybe you could do it the first Monday in September.
Okay.
Put it a sheet together that I can send out after, like how I do, and then you can go into more detail with it.
Oh, okay, very good. So the other thing I did since we last met is that I attended Alex's Flow presentation on Saturday, and I was an active participant, being one of the actors involved as well as giving feedback for the session. So I really appreciated networking there and meeting new people virtually, which is awesome. Let's see what else here. I also have been experimenting with video filters in Zoom. So I'm going to share one with everybody today. So this is a neat one I came across because I downloaded Snap Camera. So the neat thing with that is you can have a variety of different things. So if you look at what I've got right now, it gives me ideas for my Cinderella of being a cartoon kind of show. With the people taking part as a cartoon compared to a regular character with costumes and all kinds of effects and things. So I just thought I'd share that for what it's worth. And I can create my own filters too, which is really neat. So that's one of my gifts or talents.
Great. Alex.
Hello, everyone. Apologize. I have a long list today, Christine. First of all, I'm back to the world of social stance. I bartended this weekend for the first time in 18 months. Went to see Green Day in concert last night. So it was my first night out in 18 months. So I'm feeling the effects today. So it's okay. It's catching up on me. So first of all, I did go through my list. I know Mark, Marissa, and John had asked me for some stuff. So I always try to get to my list what you guys, need from me. Like Doug, I've have something to share that I think a lot of you would like. So I can't put it in the chat, Christine. I can mention it. It's the guidelines for lifetime writing. I can mention a few of them, or, what do you want me to do, Christine? I just think some.
Well, after my talk then.
Okay. Yeah, because
Okay.
it's kind of big. This is like
Okay.
hot off the press. No one has access to it. I've
Okay.
done a pitch to Mar Vista, whose biggest client is Lifetime TV, and we've got all the guidelines for our next step. So I'll share that later. Pat didn't mention that she was in a table read a few weekends ago with a Florida group of writers that, Pat, I can't go back. They do this for 4 hours. So if you ever go to a table read, find out the guidelines. I could not believe this was a 4-hour event. I was exhausted at the end of it. So bear that in mind. Julian had spoken about what he did, but he failed to mention that he hung out with David Frankel one night. Come on, Julian, you can boast about these things. You just didn't mention that. So we had a really cool meeting where we did recordings that if you follow us on Instagram, you're starting to see them. We're doing interviews with our writers, and David Frankel popped on to thank everybody, have a quick chat with everybody. So that was kind of cool. I will put again in the chat what our Instagram account is, because there's a lot of you who are not following us. Come on, you got to show some love, got to show some support. Okay, we're all trying to help each other out here. So I will put that in the room. Tomorrow, Anime, I just told you, I'm heading up to Daytona Beach. The the owner, sorry, of Absurd Film Productions is flying out to see his family. I'm bringing my contract. I am going to be producing 3 films. The horror film, Christine, may not happen. So this is just for every writer amongst us. Okay, I talk about this all the time. You will always write and be happy with your me draft, and that's cool. Okay, you're so proud of it, but that's not what gets made. What gets made is the we draft that gets developed further, and everybody else has the input in. Well, the writers of this horror film could not get away from their me draft into the we draft, so one writer has quit. The other writer's kind of like in hiatus, so we don't know what's happening with them. And I've tried to talk to them as a writer, not a producer, saying, guys, what's the matter with you? We're giving you so much leeway on keeping everything in the script pretty much, except for some things here, and I just can't let go of it. So that's a lesson to everybody to remember. As a writer, you may work for 2 years on a script and you love it, and that's great. It's what got you noticed. But once a producer comes in who's putting down the money to make your film, you've got to play nice in the sand. If not, guess what will happen to your script? It'll sit there on a shelf. So just like a warning to everybody, get away from your me drafts at some point. Otherwise, you're not going to get stuff made. So that was a shame. One of the films I'm going to be working with is a comedy. And if anybody's seen this up and coming comedian called Cara with a K, she always says that, Cara with a K. We're in talks with her and being the lead. So that'd be kind of a cool thing for this new comedian that's going to get her first film opportunity with us. And then lastly, have a new director that I'm working with called Katie Pine. If anybody wants to look her up, she's got some really cool things. So that's me. Cheers, everyone.
Good. Pauline.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Pauline Williams, and I'm in Normal, Illinois. And since the last time that we met, I traveled to Atlanta, and it was on a fact-finding trip because I planned to produce a feature film, and I was considering producing it in Atlanta because it's becoming a film capital. So while I was there, I spoke to an entertainment attorney at the suggestion of my primary sponsor. And I learned a lot. And what they do is they help people raise funds for the movie projects, and they help you maximize your capital investments. They structure distribution deals and so on. And in addition to that, I looked at some studios in Atlanta and learned about tax incentives for filming in Georgia. And Alex set up a meeting or introduced me to someone, and his name is Eric Ayala, and he has written and produced 2 films. One I had seen before. It's called Sunday Morning Rapture, and he also wrote If I Should Die Before I Wake. And I believe they're both on Amazon. And it was just really great talking to him because he was so open and so willing to share from his experience. And I just felt so encouraged and inspired after talking to him because, well, he was a writer. He has always been a writer, but he wasn't a screenwriter. And a preacher approached him to write a screenplay for the first movie. So he not only wrote that screenplay, but he also produced it. He didn't even know the format of screenplays when he went into it, never produced anything. And then he produced 2 movies. And so I was thinking there is hope for me, you know, after talking to him. And then I also had my niece with me who has been my research assistant since February, and she's also an aspiring writer. And I just wanted to take her along on my journey so that she can learn a lot. When I got back, I have continued my producer's class. And one of the things that I have to do is to produce a short film. So I have a 5-minute movie coming up. And I sent the script to Doug, and he was so nice to read it and send me some suggested edits. Thank you. And by the way, Doug, I went a whole different way with the title. And but anyway, and that's the short film is a comedy sketch. And so I have, let's see. So I have my crew. I actually have a staff, a bunch of people who are willing to work with me. And I have the actors, we rehearse, we've done all of that. We're shooting on Sunday at my church. I have a room reserved at the church that we have to dress and turn it into a restaurant. So it's a lot of work, a lot of, moving parts to this. And this is something that I discovered, you're probably already familiar with it, software or called Lightspeed EPS. And you upload your script to that, and it helps you organize the production and create call sheets and, just organize all the props for all the individuals.
What is it called? Sorry, live.
It's lightspeedeps.com. You go there. And it's a free account you can set up, but it's only free for one project, and then you upgrade after that. So that was something I learned from the producers class. And even though this is just a 5-minute movie, my mentor, who is the teacher of this class, he wants to take me through everything that I would have to do for a feature film. I mean, it won't be every single thing, but as much as possible. And I appreciate that. And I also attended Alex's reading this weekend. Thank you for including me, Alex. And, maybe later on I'll say something else because, I really enjoy the lessons that you're teaching to students. And I think that you will get their attention in this way because you're not preaching to them and everything. But I kind of felt a little uncomfortable with one, with the one on pornography. And the reason I felt uncomfortable, I didn't really even know what to say, but I just felt that something that was said in it that made me, that I disagreed with about there's a way to do it or is a responsible way or something like that. It's just that I've seen what pornography or an addiction to pornography has done to individuals as well as to families. It consumes individuals. I've seen it destroy a family. So that's why I didn't have anything to say about that one, Alex.
Yeah, Pauline, they're risky topics to address, and that's why we're addressing them. We're going to try our best.
Okay, well, that's all from me.
Okay, Nick.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I'm just, I'm based down San Francisco Bay Area, California, and I am currently just working on rewrites for my existing scripts, but I'm starting, I'm gonna put that on hold and do as much as I could, but start a suspense short called Prosperous Milk Carton. And yeah, I'm gonna just work on the research of the 90s milk cartons and yeah, and so in the process of prepping for it, maybe creating an outline before, and then yeah, so yeah, I mean, I know October is coming up, so yeah, I just want to kind of start that, and then yeah.
Good. Okay, Mark.
Hello, how's it going? Alex, you sound very busy. That sounds really exciting. Everything you're up to.
Mark, thank you. Don't forget, the 18th of August is your big, no, 25th of August is your
25th, I think, yeah, for Snarl. 25th. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So what have I been working on? Really been focused on the pilot I wrote called Disaster Man. It's, I think, unique. It just won a small contest just the other day.
And what genre is it?
It is fantasy dark comedy. It's sort of a comps would be like The Boys, Doom Patrol, Watchmen type of thing. So I've really been working on that. I originally envisioned it as a graphic novel. My daughter's been working on some of the art for me, which is really fantastic. And then I submitted it into stage 32 and got some really good feedback from the vice president of John Golan Productions. I guess he did Dexter, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, a few other things, worked on SNL. So, I mean, he gave me a recommend as a writer and a consider on the project. So he had some really good feedback that I'm taking into consideration, but I don't really know what to do from here, honestly. You know, I can put together a pitch deck. I don't know if I should resubmit to him or what I should do there. So if anybody has any suggestions, Alex has any suggestions at this point. So,
well, yeah. Alex will be doing a presentation on pitch decks on the 16th in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So you'll hear about that.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. I'll be there for that. So that's really what I'm working on. Just trying to get it in front of somebody. I don't even know, like, how do you get a meeting, Alex? I mean, you just start asking people for meetings. How do you do that?
No, don't ask. But you have to tell me the context of how you left it with them.
No, I mean, it was just through, I just submitted it through stage 32. The feedback was really, really good. Was recommended as a writer and a consider on the project. He had some things that he thought, would make it a little bit more grounded, which is fine. And then he said, pitch deck would be a great next step. But I have no idea. I can put together a pitch deck. I can work on it. Obviously, I'm kind of working on it. But I mean, do I just hit it back up or?
I would reach out to their social media platform, LinkedIn or whatever they're on.
Okay.
Twitter, whatever.
Yeah.
And then just reintroduce yourself that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once they respond, then it's okay. Hey, remember, blah, blah, blah.
Sure. Sure.
Kind of just lead them along.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's a good advice. Okay.
Gentle stalking.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because I'm parked outside your house right now. So. No, very good. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's really all I'm focused on right now. And yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay, great. And we have somebody new tonight, Keith Chamberlain. Welcome. You want to introduce yourself and tell us what you're working on?
Yeah, I'm Keith Chamberlain. I'm from New Jersey. I have been working on a web series for the past, I've had a web series I've done for 2 seasons. We were supposed to start last year, but we got shut down due to COVID. So we all decided to take a little bit of a break. We're coming back this year, basically just trying to rewrite a lot of the stuff that I did because it was pre-COVID. So a lot of places we lost locations and actors are falling out. So in certain things we can't do anymore because of everything. So just getting that 3rd season done and trying to see if we can get that in front of the right people, so maybe we could expand upon it and take it to series. I do know that there's been a few web series that have made that transition to actual series. I would like to be one of them with this show. So that's basically where I am, and also just trying to get back into the hang of writing. Because there was nothing going on at all. So this is trying to, get my legs back up from underneath me, back under me and get inspired again, get that fire.
Great. And myself, Christine Whitlock, here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Well, I must say I'm still in the thinking mood for my small town mystery TV pilot. And I put aside the Christmas romance. I have to get back to go through my various edits. And then I had my big move of my new furniture into my office. So I still have to put everything away for that. And I got some interesting feedback and comments on my Martian novella that I'm writing. And then in the meantime, I got recruited by a Chinese publisher. They're looking for writers to write 35,000 books for ESL Chinese students. And then they're going to be going worldwide for ESL English. And so this project's going on until April of 2023. And so last Sunday night, I had a Zoom meeting with Beijing, my contact, and she liked my book that I had sent her about. It was a children's book on a mystery series about a cat and a rabbit detectives. And so I'm on the first or the second project. The first project was about a family in California called the Jollies. Now they're working on their second project about Nation X. And it's about a planet with one big continent, and it's got about 4 cities, and there's 9 animal characters in it that are humanized, and then you write little stories on various subject matters from 1,000 to 800 words. And so I submitted my first story today, and they said it takes about 3 weeks for it to be edited because 5 people have to look at it. And I had checked them out on Google and Reddit to see what the reviews were. So if you want information about this company, and let me know, and I'll send you that, because like I said, they're looking for writers, and no minimum, but they'd like 2 to 3 stories a month if that's possible. But one is fine. So if you want to do some freelance short stories, what I consider short stories, because 1,000 to 8,000 words, is to me a short story. Okay, so unless there's anything that you can't wait, Alex.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Rosie and Keith about, all the networking and am I doing this is the right track. So Keith, it's all a long game. Same with you, Rosie. It's all a long game. If you're doing stuff and then you've got things to showcase your talents, it's important. So whether it's a webcast or short stories, it's not going to matter. We're going to be judged by what we've created. Like Pauline is moving from writer to producing something. That's going to be bigger than anything else. You've got to have tangible items to be, judged on. So I say, if that's what your desire is, Keith, is the webcast, that's what you do. Rosie, if you're going to move into shorts, move into shorts. It's all the long game. We need stuff to be judged on.
Okay, so tonight's topic is how to get an agent manager. So tomorrow I'll be sending you out this document with the Google address where I found the majority of this information. And it's interesting, there's about 3 or 4 different YouTube links that you can find out about agents and managers that are speaking about, how's the best way to contact them. But from the one source, it was very interesting, 6 things that they said. Make query phone calls. It used to be common to send query letters, then emails. But I guess if you can get them by phone and talk to a regular person, that's the number 1. Number 2, attend screenwriting conferences and summits. So again, the personal contact. 3, send your script to screenwriting competitions. Now, I know a lot of people are against that because of the high cost and the number of submissions are overwhelming, that it's very hard to get anything through that. 4, go to film festivals. you know, a lot of them are virtual and you can meet people in different chat rooms and things like that. 5, get a job as an assistant. 6, stunt marketing. I thought that was a bit much. But back on July 24th, I listened to a great webinar put on by Screenwriting U on how to get an agent and manager. And they said the reality is your business relationship with highly marketable scripts. So they said that agents are the sharks of the town. Their purpose is for instant business. Their focus is action, heat, and deals, and their feedback. They may return your calls or not. So with managers, they want to develop careers, and you do not hand them your learning scripts. So make sure that you have totally polished scripts, and if you've gone to a script doctor and got a recommendation, or from Stage 32 that you've got a recommendation like Mark mentioned, that's great. So managers' focus is on planning and nurturing you. And when they give you feedback, it's on concept, writing, and strategy. So the three main barriers to getting an agent. So first one, of course, is the quality of your writing. Second is not understanding how deals happen. And third is lack of access. So Alex already said, you've submitted a script, but you don't want to do any revisions or take notes with the producer. So you're going to shoot yourself in the foot and the head. You're going to ruin your career because, you can't do that. So why do screenwriters want agents and managers? Well, first of all, for access. Second is for guidance. Third is credibility. And fourth, sale and negotiation. So why do agents want writers? Agents want consistent income. So you have to, like it says, go back to the marketable scripts, paid writing assignments, because if they can get you extra work, they're going to get more money. Maintain their high reputation. So you may be really grilled in your interview because they want people, like I said, who will take notes and make changes, that they're not stuck to their work, that it can't be done. And they do not want any drama from you. So if you're a drama queen or king, forget it. So from an agent's perspective, you're a great client if you make money on your scripts. You make great business decisions. So with the agent's help, and a lot of times you may even have to bring in your own entertainment lawyer. You write marketable screenplays. You're highly collaborative. Have the skills to create on demand. And you are actively promoting your own career. You can't just expect agents and managers to do that exclusively for you. You have to always be promoting yourself. So it says, what are the rules of engagement? Be okay doing this process in steps. Be professional, be calm, never desperate. Only submit your best work. What you send becomes your reputation. So like I said, only stuff that you have really gone through and edited quite a number of times, And I have said, I think almost everybody knows, I have a list of all the editing you should do after you finished your first draft, and I can send that to you. Let them ask you to sign. Again, you're not being desperate. When they ask to rep you, you say yes. You don't say, oh, well, I'm going to think about it for a week. Well, you should have had done your homework on the agent and the agency before you got into this conversation. Ask for the next step and then get off the phone. So ask, okay, will you be contacting me in a week, or other paperwork coming to me, that sort of thing. And you get off the phone, and that's when you scream and you call your friends and you open up the bottle of champagne. But you don't do any of that while you're on the phone with the agent or manager, or they might think, oh no, this is a drama queen, and they're not acting professional. So the roadmap, 8 strategies for landing a manager or agent. Make a big deal and bring it to the agent to negotiate. 2, make a small deal and use it as credibility to show you can do the job. 3, option a book in demand and bring it to the manager. 3, get a recommendation from an insider. 5, get a recommend from a major coverage service and pitch using that. And they said Script Shark, Script Pipeline. So there might be a few other ones. Pitch at a pitch fest. 7, win a contest and approach agents and managers with the win. And 8, send a query letter that can easily sell a concept, title, genre, concept, or pitch. So in that Google, Google link that I'll be sending you, at the very bottom of it, when you open it up, there's a list of agents and managers that you can approach right away. Some want unsolicited work. And so go through, and what I have done is I've put together an Excel sheet. You know, I put the date and the company and their website, and if there's a contact person, their phone number, how I've contacted either by email, or sometimes they have a web box that you have to contact them through. And then, you know, if you do get any follow-up with them. Okay, Pauline, you had a hand up. You had a question?
Oh, the question was from what you were talking about before about the ESL books. And I just had a question because that's what I do professionally. I'm a teacher educator, and I prepare ESL and bilingual teachers for the classroom. And I just wanted you to say again what it is that you're doing with that project. I mean, is it storybooks that you're writing, or is it anything about the teaching of ESL?
No, the second project is, so there's different, I guess, book series that they're doing. So the first book series was about the Jolly family in California. So that's finished. I guess they did enough books on that one. And now the next book series is about Nation X. It's a planet with 1 continent and 4 cities, and it has 9 animals that are humanized. And then you write little stories about them interacting. So my story was 5 of these animals, because they all live in the same city. They go to the opening of a new gym and things happen at the gym. And so the subject that I wrote about was self-esteem and body shaming. So, and you get illustrations of what these animals look like, and you get descriptions and their family background. So these animals are all in their 20s. It's like, you know, young people, and some of them are working and some of them aren't, and some have cars and some don't, and their likes and dislikes and that sort of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can I chime in on that one real quick?
Sure.
So basically this is IP, their IP, and then you're just writing in that, right? And the audience is going to be somebody in their late teens and
12 plus.
20 plus. Okay. And about 800 to 1,000 words. Okay.
No, 1,000 to 8,000 words.
Okay, 1,000 to 8,000. Fantastic.
And then you have to also come up with at the end a couple of true and false, a couple of multiple choice, and a couple of questions.
Okay, on the material. Okay.
On the material or the subject matter, like one of my questions was, does this gym facility have outdoor exercises? But it wasn't mentioned in the story, so it would be false. That sort of thing. Now, I just sent it today, so I don't know how it's going to be reviewed. Like, I pitched it to my team leader and she approved it. And so we'll see what they say about it. And the thing is, since they are Chinese at that end, like what I may write about, hopefully, I don't think it's too adult. And I think, my wordage in that, I didn't use any wordage that I thought would be difficult. But then the Chinese may have a different interpretation of some words, like the picture of the male kangaroo. He has, like what I have on, like a sleeveless top for men, which I call a muscle shirt. So I put muscle dash style sleeveless top. That's what he was wearing to the gym as part of the clothes. Like I described the clothes that these characters were wearing to the gym, because she said to them all, wear loose clothing and bring a bathing suit. So, but then, like, if you want more information, then let me know in the chat, and then I'll send you the website.
I just emailed you, but I'll put in the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So any comments about getting an agent or manager? Does anybody have that? Rosie?
Yeah, I have sort of like it's like half question, half statement, I guess. So this is something that I've asked like other writers, and I don't know anyone who's a screenwriter that's gotten like I've only known like one person. And no one else who's gotten like a specific screenwriting agent. And from what I've heard from multiple people who are writing, and they're working writers and they don't have agents, and they're like, they don't care about getting agents, I guess, at this point, because they're working. They say that then they believe like the number one way to get a screenwriting agent is to be referred through like a friend, or like, someone really close, and that's how they get in. And I haven't been able to like dispute that. I haven't found anyone that was like, for screenwriting. I'm sure for like other agents and whatnot, like it seems that it was a little easier to maybe if you were networking or something like that. But I don't know too many people who have screenwriting agents. And then like, of the ones, like the one person that I know, like they did know someone. So I kind of under the impression that like the number one thing that maybe you need to do is to have a close friend that somehow has an agent, and they like you well enough that they're going to like refer to their agent, be like, hey, I have this person that I know, and like take a look at them. I don't know. Can anyone like counter that and just be like telling me I'm wrong? Because I don't have close enough writing friends that have agents. So I have no hope then in that case, if that's like the biggest way to get an agent.
Alex, do you have an agent or a manager?
No, I act as the manager for my writing wife and myself. So I'm the one that does most of the wheeling and dealing, making meetings and stuff. So that's kind of how we introduce ourselves. We're a writing partner, but any business things come through me. That's just what we've decided on. I think there is a big difference between a manager and an agent. I'm not sure why a writer needs a manager, but I think a writer could be useful to have an agent, if that makes sense, but not a manager.
Now,
Can I add
since you're
something?
doing your own agent type of work, would you then take the contract to an entertainment lawyer to have it looked at?
So yes, we're in dealings with a few things, and we know between us two entertainment lawyers that we would definitely be working with. And then I have a friend who's a line producer. He works for Amazon Films, and he's my go-to guy when I need somebody in the industry to pay for the service. So my main contact is kind of like my conduit for what I may need in the film industry. I built up that relationship with this friend of mine who's become very, very successful over the last 6 years since I met him.
Karen, you were going to say something?
No, actually, he just touched on it. So
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, if nobody else has anything about agents and managers, Alex, you're going to talk about something?
Yeah, would you mind if I can share the screen for a few minutes? Can you make me co-host to share a screen? So one of the...
And how do I do that?
So if you hover over participants and find my name on the right, there's a blue thing that says more, and then you hit make co-host. So go to participants, all the names pop up, find my name, and then there's a button that says more.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, you hit it?
Yep.
Great, here we go. All right, guys, so one of the things I've been working with is the company. If you ever watch Lifetime TV, most of the films that pop up are made by Mar Vista. They're the big distribution company. Sorry, looking at all my calendar stuff. And what I wanted to share with you, if I can find it, excuse me. I've got so many things open. It's not that one. So what we found is Mar Vista is kind of like the gateway to Lifetime TV. Excuse me, I thought I had the thing popped up. So excuse me a second. I've just got a million things open. I'm so sorry. Just bear with me a second, okay? It's probably in one of these. Give me a second. You guys, okay? Let me quickly go through. Here it is. Can you guys see this on the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mar Vista has guidelines for the pitches that you make for the Lifetime style TV. So they all have to come into a 9-act structure, which I'll go in a second. All the outlines have to be, the scripts must be between 92 and 96 pages, okay? They talk about the type of characters they want and don't want. So that's really, really key to have. This is what it says here. They only want to focus on main characters and then some supporting cast. So you can't send in a film script or a pitch that has like an ensemble cast or has way too many background characters. It's just not what they want. Because it says here at this budget level, 20 to 50 background performers for the entire film. And that's a stretch, they said. And that's because of COVID and different restrictions that people are having. They don't want more than 6 locations. They barely want any stunts. The only stunts we have is a fight scene in our ending. You know, the female protagonist kicks the stalker's ass, that type of thing. They very rarely want montages. Okay, you know me. I'm not a big proponent of flashbacks and montages. So that's just that. And then here, content guidelines, because they are on TV on Lifetime. So very rarely any curse words, and they don't even like expressions such as God or Jesus. Okay. They allow some violence, but nothing gory, no excessive blood, anything horrific. Okay. They rarely even touch on things like torture and rape, even though there was a film called it was either her worst nightmare or my worst nightmare, about 3 girls that escaped a situation where they were kidnapped and held hostage for a while. That was the opening of the movie, and we just alluded back to her mental state, and there's nothing really, you never saw any of the torture or anything like that. It was just kind of alluded to. And look, as I always tell you, please always work in, what was it, about polish. We ask that you do a careful pass of your script for spelling, grammar, and typos. When I read scripts now, after 2 pages, I will toss it if I see 2 or 3 mistakes. Shows to me that you don't care about your work. So warning, read the script backwards, just word by word, not the actual content, just word for word and looking for mistakes, okay? Or pay someone, go on Fiverr, it's like $30. Someone will edit your script, $30, do it. So again, not everybody wants this, but for a Lifetime style TV, you have to have it structured in the 9-act structure. That's what they want. And they're pretty strict about the page count again, because it can't exceed more than 96 pages. I think I just said 96 pages. What was that? Yeah, no more than 96 pages. So just to give you background on this, Nikki and I, my writing wife, we are in negotiations with Mar Vista. They work on a really strange system. Typically, this is how they typically work, is that you find an independent contractor, like a producer or a director that's worked with Mar Vista, and you pitch them a 2-page pitch in the style that they want. They then go to Mar Vista, it goes through the slate, they're juggling 60 projects at a time. So they're always working on advanced quarters, what they're shooting, what's in pre-production, etc. So we're in negotiations with a gentleman who's made 4 films with them, and they love his work. So now he's getting bigger budgets to do kind of, bigger and better films. So he's met with us because one of our scripts that we have is just right up their alley. It's actually called The One. And we're now at the point where we're going to be a little more unusual than the typical way they do things, because we already have a script written. Typically, you only pitch your 2-page idea. They option it or they pay you for it, and then they make their own script in-house, and it goes to the freelance production company that shoot it. We're different because we already have a script ready. So that's not a bad thing for them, because our script is written so much like what Mar Vista needs. So we're going to be okay in that. He actually thinks that's a better thing for us, because we have a better chance of getting in now that we have an excellent script that's kind of ready to go. Obviously, like I said earlier, once we're on board and we have a contract, then we would work with the development team on making any changes that they want to the script. But we've already made all the changes with the pitch, because we've been working with this freelance director that's worked for them for 4 movies. So he knows the ins and outs already. So we should be okay. Again, it's up to the actual Mar Vista, head honchos to make that call, but we're pretty confident that we're going to get at least a good look in and hopefully land a contract in the next, couple of weeks, couple of months.
And which script of yours?
It's a female-led thriller. It's like a sexy thriller about a newscaster that ends up having a stalker relationship, and she has to overcome it. So it's very typical Lifetime type of TV movie that we wrote. There's only alluding to sex scenes. There's no actual sex scenes. She's a very confident newscaster lady that, can kick people's ass because she's in training for martial arts, and she ends up having to defend herself. But it's a very typical Lifetime film. Out of all the scripts that Nikki and I have written together, we've written 3. It's the one that we kind of had a feeling would easily be picked up, but we've never pushed it because it's just not our passion project as opposed to the others. But this is the one that may open the door. As Nikki says, we just need the first domino to fall. So that's that news with that script.
And what about your Thelma and Louise script?
Yeah, see, that's the one that's our passion script. So that's still sitting on the desk of the producer, the famous producer that wanted us to rewrite and change the end. And we did it. And now we're still waiting on him. It's the long road to success. Sometimes you just have to sit and bite your nails. Trust me, that's the one script that we are ready to quit our day jobs just to be in pre-production for 3 months, 6 months, whatever it takes to get that movie made. We've both said, if we get that script picked up, we would either, ask for leave of absence from work, probably, rather than quit, and go spend 3 months in pre-production with the company. That's how passionate we are. It's called sundown. If anybody doesn't know what a sundown law is, go look it up. It's disgusting, and it still occurs today. And a lot of you know my writing wife, Nikki, being half African-American, she encompassed a terrible incident on a road trip. So that's why we deem it like an African-American version of Thelma and Louise. And it's sad that even in the city of Coral Gables, where the University of Miami is, only changed their sundown law last year. They still had them. It's just mind-blowing. I got a cousin in England who doesn't believe me. He thinks I'm making all this up. I had to send him 7 pages of research. He can't get his head around that the laws still exist in certain counties. That's to say, sad. This country has not come very far from post-Civil War times, have we?
There was a great episode like that in
Lovecraft County.
Huh?
Lovecraft County.
Yeah. That was really awesome. I love Lovecraft. Yeah.
But you can only go 15 miles an hour. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we were happy that came out because that's helped us in our pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, we were very happy that came out.
So Alex, are you able to put that link in the chat, or how can we get those pages?
I can't. I can't share that information.
Oh.
That's why I said I would share it with you as a group now in confidence, but that's it. I can't. It's a no-no. But at least you got some idea now. And if you have a movie of the week, lifetime type pitch thing, if I have time, I could look at it. As you all know, I'd always look at some work of yours to help you out, especially a 2-page pitch. I could definitely help you with that. If our pitch gets accepted, I'd be willing to share with you our pitch. If it gets accepted, then it's kind of history at that point. So yeah, so I could do that.
Because there's sometimes you can't get examples,
I know
of things, and you don't know, how you should write certain things like this 9-act. Where's there an example of a 9-act script?
I'm sure
by theirs.
I mean, I'm sure we could find one, but again, I was given this in confidence by a director because he wants to make our film. He's our go-to guy between Mar Vista and us. So I'm not gonna, go against his confidence. He's shared with us things that probably we shouldn't know. He gave us an example to make sure that our pitch hit all the bullet points. But he's not supposed to do that because he wants to make our film. So that's why once we submit our pitch, he's very confident that we'll get picked up because it's exactly what Mar Vista wants. And why do we know that? Because we've gone through this guy, Ted.
Well, so especially if he's done movies.
Yeah, he's done 4 films. He just finished. Yes. He just finished on set filming in Mississippi. So if we get picked up, then I could maybe share some of my stuff because it's my stuff. Like I won't show you his example of a pitch, but I could share with you mine because it's mine, right? So just, be patient with me.
And unless you've been told like, NDA type of thing that you can't share it.
Well, yeah, kind of. I'm about to sign NDAs with them. So I'm just being, a lot of you know that I'm kind of connected with people, and that's why I'm connected with people. Like people can share things with me and I will keep it in confidence and things like that all the time. And I sign NDAs all the time. I'm going to Daytona tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm signing my contract to be a producer of 2 films. The guy's flying from California. Yes, he just flew today. Go see family in Daytona. It's a 4-hour drive for me. Driving up, he's putting me in the Hard Rock Cafe, hotel, whatever. And then I meet him in the morning for breakfast and sign my contract.
So you said you're going to be working on 3 films?
Yeah, I'm doing one is script development. If anybody wants to look up a really cool TV show, it's on Amazon. I'm sorry, my phone's going off like crazy here. Sorry. You want to look up the actor called David Sullivan. He was in a really good show with what's that redhead with Amy something? God, what's her name? So I haven't seen the show. That's why I can't think what it is. I'll look it up in a second. So I have a film development script with him. I'm sorry, excuse me, my phone's just going crazy. Anybody watch oh, someone's joining us. I'll admit them, I don't know who they are. Kumar, are you expecting a Kumar? I'll just admit. Help me out, who's the redhead that was in Arrival? What was her name? Amy what? Who's the
Amy
actor?
Adams.
Amy Adams. So there was a really good TV show that she was in recently.
Woman in the Window?
Yeah, thanks, Julian. And
Sharp
David,
Objects. Well, the Woman in the Window was a movie. Sharp Objects was a series.
Sharp Objects, that was the one.
Yeah, that was critically praised. Woman in the Window was not praised.
So one of the policemen in that is David Sullivan. So he's now going to be directing a film. So I'm doing the script development on that. I'm producing the comedy about a bride that gets kidnapped at an altar. And then I'm producing the unusual love story between a Nazi skinhead chap and a Muslim dude. So that's going to be my main focus because the writer is from Norway and it's an amazing idea, but language, he has to of ASL, right? That's one of the things is his language, and a lot of his script is just got too many holes.
So Kumar has just joined us. Welcome, your first time here. If you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you're working on.
Good morning, everyone here. I'm from India. So I have an animation studio, and we've been working on animated shorts for our client in Europe, and we mostly work on kids space, mostly preschoolers. And recently on the stage 32, I have been writing a script with Mike Disha. I have taken a class of Mike Disha, and then I've been writing this show called Max and Luke. And right now I have finished beat sheets, and I'm still improvising on the beat sheet. But my main reason why I'm on stage 32 is basically, to provide 3D animation services for indie producers, so that there could be a lot of options for them, because in these pandemic times it's very hard to find things. So I thought maybe I should promote myself there.
Yes, if you want to put your contact information and your company name and website in the chat, because tomorrow I send a copy of the chat to everybody, so they'll be able to contact you.
Sure.
Yeah, the chat's at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. And I recently finished this 2-minute short where I on stage 32, but I'll send the link here also.
Yes, yeah, put the link.
Correct. Sure, I'll just watch today and see. Probably I'll be more active from next time.
And what's the time difference? Because we're in New York time and you're in, is it Delhi time?
Yeah, it's 5:30 a.m. in the morning here.
Wow, now we know why you weren't here at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was saying I had a Zoom call with Beijing and it was 9:30 at night for me. It was 9:30 in the morning for the ladies. So we have to do these kind of things, when you're meeting different people internationally on Zoom, and you have to be flexible.
Correct.
But like I said to, on LinkedIn and social media, we had a great presentation last time by Julian about all of the social media websites and things to do on them. And for me, LinkedIn, to make sure that you have a proper profile and what you're looking for and the kind of things that you have to offer people. So like I said, on LinkedIn, you're able to put this kind of funny circle around your name saying you're looking for work as a writer, and somebody saw that and recruited me. So, if you are looking for work or in whatever way, put that down. And all the various things that you're willing to write, not just scripts. But, I put down, short stories and novels and you don't know. And the stuff that you've written, web series, shorts, features, TV pilots, so that they know that you've done that and you can send examples. And you always have to be very polite anytime, I think, in your life. You should never, burn bridges. And your main purpose in life is to help somebody with the skills that you have. So helping people putting forward is very important. That's why, I may not know everything, but I look for other people. And it's great when I go to work on a topic like looking for agents and managers, and I have to do research, and then I learn stuff. Alex, you had something to say?
Yeah, just about not even just burning bridges, but just be nice to everybody, because the person next to you in the tile today, oh, Alex, just a fellow writer from Florida. Yeah, I could be producing a film next year that you want to be a part of. So you just never know. And also about the networking, we had one meeting of just our Flow community, and we just kind of just said, who I am, what I'm doing, and 2 really good connections came of that. So you just never know who could be around the corner, because, you've met Julian today and he knows someone that you guys connect with. It's an incredible way to build a community. And Christine, I don't know if you've been looking at the Instagram this week on Flow, but they're all mentioning you. How'd you get involved in Flow? I met Alex through Christine Whitlock's group up in Hamilton, blah, blah, blah. So, it's good. I think it's a great thing that we've all kind of, because of COVID, we've all managed to come across the world and gotten closer like this. And just keep your options open, because I go back to these 2 writers that we're trying to work with on this horror film. The one guy, in the very first conversation, I knew we were going to have problems with, and he's the guy that quit. And then the other guy, I don't know, he seems a little lost. But again, it was because they couldn't play in the sand nicely with our production team.
But I must tell you, Alex, that the trailer that you sent for that sci-fi movie you produced, that was excellent. After telling about the horror stories, I was expecting something different. No, I was really amazed how
yeah, the film came out quite well. It just got released on Saturday. I could send you guys the link if it's one of those, went straight to VOD, and then it's going to air on the Sci-Fi Channel at some point soon. But as a film, it's come across, it's a good looking film, and it has its audience for those sci-fi, save the world type of movies. I would do it again just for the paycheck, but I'd rather be doing stuff that I love rather than, waking up early to get on set for a film that I've got no heart into it. But great experience. And because of it, because I proved myself by stepping in as script supervisor as first AD, the owner of the company's now hired me. So there you go. I did a good job on set, and I got a job from it. So, hey, again, you never know where the next connection is going to come from. So just be nice to everybody and, get stuff made in some capacity so that you have stuff to be judged on. That's all I can keep telling you. It's my biggest advice I ever got from David Frankel. was, yeah, you can be writing, you can be writing, you can be writing, but you got to get something made so people can see what you can do. So that's why, you know, I'm like this to Pauline, that she's taking that risk. It's just important to do. I can't stress it. Can't stress it.
And
It's
Alex, you were in a difficult situation, but you were positive. And I think you have to be positive in difficult situations. And then, you know, you have to be calm and cooperative with everybody. And then, you know, like you said, the owner of the company saw that you were able to, you know, go with the flow and get it done. And, you know, you got rewarded by future employment. Yes, Pauline, you had your hand up?
Yes. I'm trying to figure out, well, I have a system now, but it has been hard to come to, considering the work that I do as a professor, and then the artistic projects, you know, in screenwriting and producing. It's been kind of hard to bring it all together, or to have time for everything, and then have quality of lifetime. And I am just amazed at what I'm hearing from Alex. Alex, you are involved in everything. I mean, you're a producer, you're a writer. I mean, and you help anybody who asks for help. And seriously, how do you organize this? And do you have quality of lifetime just for yourself? And how do you do it? How do you manage it? Okay. Oh, that's
a crazy calendar, Pauline. You know, a lot of it is, Pauline, you know, just to kind of be a little spiritual here. I'm into, you know, why we're all on earth and all that type of thing. And I think I have a reason to be here. And that's connecting people to get stuff done for the betterment of society. That's just kind of like my personal way. And it wasn't like that for many years. I have a daughter that I want to do stuff that she's proud of. I'm breaking in as a writer. I don't feel I've even broken in yet. I had help very early on in my career. Dana Kuznetsov, David Frankel, people, Tony Basgalop, who's one of the biggest writers in England. And they were nice enough to give me some of their time. So that's why I've always said, as I move up the chain, I'm willing to give up my time to help people. I mean, you know, Pauline and I, you and I came to a fork in the road, right? You could have gone one different way. We never talked again. You were all pissed off at me, blah, blah, blah. You chose to take the more difficult route, and look where you are now. So I feel proud that you made that choice, because sometimes, you know, we need a little nudging in a certain direction. So that's why I feel that everybody's here for a reason. And there's an absolute reason why we're all together in this call. We may not know it now, but in the next 3 years, you know, I don't know, Rosie and I end up making the best film ever made. We just don't know. I don't know. So what I'm saying is, I'm willing to, I mean, my time is, what's the word? Scarce, because I am a director of a clinic. I'm a dad, right? But I just feel like the bigger cause is why I put forward the effort that I do. I spin all these different plates, and some may spin off and crash, and some end it may be I can take it off and have a nice meal off it. So thank you for that, Pauline. But I just feel that I'm not into the micro thing. I'm into that macro of I'm here for a bigger reason. And that's why I put forward the effort to do these things. And yeah, I just try. That's all I can do. I tell my daughter all the time, I get up every day and I say to myself, I'm going to be the best citizen I can be and the best father I can be. And some days I fail. Often I don't, because I always just give 100% in anything I do. And I've always tried to help people out. Everybody but one person has reached out to me for help. One person hasn't. Not picking on you again. You know who you are. And in the tile here, he doesn't want to help. Okay. Could have kind of maybe moved him along months ago, but doesn't want my help. So it's okay. I'm here to help people that want help. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I appreciate all of your help. I really do.
Hey, kudos to you, Pauline. Like I said, you could have gone a different way in the fork. We wouldn't be
I'm here
talking.
to learn.
I know. That's what I've said. It's great. I just put the trailer of the film in the chat if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, I have just to add to earlier talking about the 9X structure. I have a PDF. It's a very short PDF. It's about 9X structure from Hallmark. but I wasn't sure if that would be something helpful for you guys. It's a little bit more geared to like movie of the week for like romance, not specifically thriller, although it does sort of mention that. But yeah, that's something
Yeah,
that people are
please.
interested in.
Yes,
Okay.
please. If you could put that in the chat, that would be great.
Oh, okay. So let me just try and figure out how to do that because I'm like the worst with this kind of stuff. But yeah, I could put it in the chat then. Okay, excellent.
I'm the worst, Rosie, not you.
Okay, then I'm like the second worst.
Check it balanced.
And Alex, do you do journaling? Do you write? Do you keep track of all these things that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm constantly writing in different forms. So I have a diary, journal. I have the old-fashioned, what they call ledgers, notebooks. What are these called? Legal pads. What do you call these things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have about 14 of those on my desk
Paper.
on each project. So keep a track on meetings, who I've spoken to, what was said, what's going to be the next step. So I'm pretty organized. And then with Flow, as those who have been to the Flow meetings, we're doing that through my day job. So for now, so I've got a whole bunch of staff who help me work on that. I don't do anything with the social media. That's all my staff who do that. So I get some help with one of my big projects.
And I think accountability is good. And if you can't find an accountability person, then I've put together for myself a spreadsheet of all the things that I should be, looking at or working on, and plus my interests. And every day I check off, have I worked on my embroidery? Have I worked on my painting? Have I worked on, my coloring, that sort of thing? And then I can look over the past month, what have I ignored in my life that supposedly I am interested in? So you have a more balance of your life. And then like for my Martian novella, I'm writing, I make myself write something every day, and I put down the word count and also the total word count, because I know I had to do 4,000 words for my writers group for a submission a couple of weeks ago. So I went over that, but I sent him a bit less than that. I got to it a week and a half earlier than I expected. And then I went through like about 15 different edits. Like I said, I have a sheet on all the different things you need to check through your work. And then, so my next deadline for myself is the midpoint, when all these people get on the spaceship going back to Earth. And at that point, I'll do another, 15 edits to get to that point. So I hope to have this, novella finished by the end of the year. It came into my mind in 2011. So, 10 years it's been percolating in my mind, and I can't believe the stuff that now comes out when I sit down and say, I'm going to write, at least 100 to 250 words, a page a day. And if you give yourself those goals, then you will find that your mind will come up with stuff that you never even thought of. Like you're thinking, well, how can I work through this problem? I have to come up with more problems or more characters or more conflicts. So, you let your mind work on it while you're sleeping or while you're vacuuming or washing the dishes. And that's when it comes, because you have to be doing other stuff physical stuff so that your mind can work on these problems. And I think your mind, likes to work on challenges. So as a creative person, knowing that you're doing these things, it's like, okay, what kind of new project can you think of? And it's like, I don't have time for a new project. Let me finish some of the other ones. And I've been bombarded in the past with certain scripts that I did not finish, and I had to finish because they kept haunting me to be finished and to be revised. So to the point, but I think writing is easy compared to the marketing. The marketing, right?
Yeah.
And then getting into the collaboration. Okay, they want this change and that change, and what battles do you want to win and what battles do you want to lose? Because everything has to be collaboration, because unless you're going to give up your script and have them have somebody else revise your script, you have to make that decision. But it's better to have the higher writing.
Yeah, but it's ultimately, do you want to get your film made, a TV series, whatever, made, right? What are you willing to do with that? So that's why I talk about this me draft and this we draft. We can all make a great me draft. We sit there, we hit the end, and we're so happy with it. But that's not what's going to get made. So you've got to get your mindset on a film is made by a collaboration of hundreds of other people. And you have to be willing to work to get your film made. It doesn't say you lose everything that you want, but you just have to be willing to have the relationship with the producer and especially the director that's chosen.
But then it's also your credits. Like if you just sell the script, the story was by, and then, who was it? The script writer eventually who had to make all the changes. Like, I don't know, with the Writers Guild, the payments breakdown, when somebody else comes in and has to revise the original script, what they get and what credits they get.
Yeah, I'm doing that with the Norwegian writer. The head producer, I think, is at the point where he's just going to let me completely rewrite it. That'll be story by the guy in Norway, script by Alex Marino. That's where we think we are. We had a table read the other day, and you could tell we got feedback from 10 actors, and they all said the same thing. Major rehaul of the script. Great concept, but again, if you want to get that film made, I've told the guy, major changes got to be done. And I think he may be willing to make the changes. We'll see.
But then it becomes also a time factor, right? Because if they want to produce the film within a certain time, and the initial writer, can't make the changes for whatever reason.
That's why in the contract they get, first or second draft rewrite. And after that, it's, because if you think about it, the script that's going to get shot isn't really the writer's anymore. If you've optioned it off, or the contract says this production company is taking the script to make that film. And that's why I think it's sad that some writers don't want to be in the collaborative, like playing Nights in the Sand, whereas you could be involved all the way. These two horror writers, they could have been involved all the way, but they chose just to be, I don't know, I can't even put the word, digging their heels in. And if I was to show you the difference between the script they wrote and the script that I had to make changes on, barely any changes, but they just couldn't live with the fact. I don't know why.
And wasn't that the same for that sci-fi you just finished?
Well, the sci-fi thing was a little different because that came just from the head honcho executive producers. They were constantly changing their mind, calling us at 3 a.m. because they're in California, we're shooting in Atlanta, to make changes that didn't make sense. For instance, we'd shoot all day, a big scene with this Dr. Marietta. He gets killed, then all the actors have responded, oh my God, we left Marietta behind, he's dead, keep going. They called us up the next day. We want Marietta to come back alive. find a way that he's not dead. Stuff like that. They would do it. Tito Ortiz, we got and we brought him back to life. He was dead, and then he wakes up and runs off into the sunset. Why? Because I guess they're thinking of sequel, Tito Ortiz, big Latin market. So we understand some of the changes, but why are you making the changes at 3 o'clock in the morning when we've just shot everything? So it was difficult, but you know, we rolled with it. We got it done. We're happy with it. Just like anything in life, if you're going to play nice and stand with people, you're going to get somewhere. If you just want to be a writer who sits in your den and then lets your script go and then you don't care about it after that, then that's okay. People could do that. I wouldn't want that. I would never want to option a script and then see it on screen. It's nothing like I envisioned. I'd like to be involved if I could. That's what I would, you know, that's what I'm always going to go for in part of a contract is I want to be coming on as an AP at the very least. I want to be involved in pre-production. I want to have a say in who's going to be cast. These are my characters that I thought about for 3 or 4 years, and now they're coming alive. I want to be involved in the casting. Yeah, I may not get final call, but I want to give the executive producers my top 4 people for the lead role because I know the lead role more than anybody else in this world. Of course, the EPs will have their own vision, but I think I would like to be involved in that. And I know some writers, they just bang out scripts and option off their script and don't care after that. They're a screenwriter, they've made their money, they're moving on. Maybe a lot of people here feel the same way, but maybe a lot of you, you know, Pat's having her own short produced and made. Okay, so she's more involved than any typical writer would be because she's, you know, she's going to be involved in getting it produced. Same with Pauline. She's producing her own thing, so she'll be along the way. So I think writers just have to make that call. I mean, I know Doug Nelson always says we're here because it's a, you know, you're here to make money and stuff like that. I'm the opposite. I'm here for the art. I'm here for the collaboration. I'm here to make things better in the world. And you know what? That attitude gets me way up there, and I land money. I land a paid freaking producer's gig a year after I was ready to quit. So I guess my vision pays off monetarily in a secondary manner. I don't care about the money. I'm signing a contract tomorrow. I'm getting paid for pre-production, and then I'm going to get 5% of the film once it's made. Great. Hopefully that 5% turns into residual money every year. And if it doesn't, I don't care. I'd rather make money making the film get done so that people see this unusual love story that, you know, makes waves, and I'm the freaking producer of it. That's more important to me than getting, I don't know, 20,000 bucks. That's just my attitude. That's all I can tell you. It's just my attitude. I think money comes secondary if you go forward for the art and for the love of creating something. That's just my attitude. You guys want to chime in? Go ahead. Prove I'm wrong.
Well, that's why, you know, talk is cheap. You know, you keep saying you're going to write something, but until you write it, you know, and it's finished and it's edited, then, you know, you got to have your credits of what you've written. So you got to, you know, post them someplace. So Alex, do you have a website of your own or personal?
Yeah, I'll put in, I got a few websites. Obviously I can put in Absurd Film Production, the company I'm working for as well. But, you know, I've made a few things, nothing crazy, but again, I'm more about slowly in the long game, I guess. You know, I get to work with David Frankel. We talk every week. Brilliant, great guy. Julian was on a call with him, right, Julian? How'd he go? Tell him from the writer's perspective. Go ahead, Julian.
I got to introduce myself to him, so, you know, we didn't get much chance to talk, but I mean, that's the first time I have been able to introduce myself to an actual name noted, very good Hollywood director. So you just never know. It's kind of my point last week is just, you know, you make connections and they may not look on the surface like they're going to go somewhere, but you connect and see what happens. And, you know, if they're people you like doing business with, you can sometimes help the good fortune spread around, you know.
So next time in 2 weeks on the 16th, we're going to have Alex giving a discussion on, what are you going to be telling us
Pitching,
about?
I guess. Pitching, pitch decks.
Pitch decks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
2 weeks on the 16th, Monday. So I think we'll go around the room and our Zoom room and find out what people will be doing in the next couple of weeks. Marissa?
Probably just mostly focus on finishing the short and make sure it's the way that I want it to send it into the film fest.
Great. Julian?
Gonna try to keep busy and all, and there's some other Zoom sessions coming up. While Alex was talking, I actually just got a message from Script Hop, because I tweeted today that I'd had my poster for Poppycock up and it had gotten over 3,000 views. And then somebody today said the link doesn't work. And I was like, what? And I looked, and for some reason the link didn't seem to work anymore. And so I fixed it, and you can't edit tweets, but so it's back up with a fixed link. But that was 3,000 eyeballs that went past it and didn't have anything to click on. So that was kind of a lost opportunity. But then Script Hop just sent me a message, said they saw my tweet about this, the link not working, and they felt bad. And they said that they asked me if I would they wanted to have one of their senior advisory staff available to assist people with their packets reach out to me. And it says, assist people with their packets, good advice, tips, a person to check in that genuinely cares about your success. And I said, let us know if you'd like one of our people to reach out to you. And I was like, yes. And so they said, you should hear from someone within the week. So I guess I might be getting a cool email. You never know. My neighbor actually just connected me to her nephew who's making films in Wisconsin. And we started up a conversation too. So just, try to keep your karma good, folks. Just reach out and good things might come around, and you never know. You never know. So
that's right.
So I'm grateful to you, Christine, too, for this group, because it's the same principle, just, meeting people and making connections, and, it's connected to this flow thing and other things. And, and next week there might be someone else that might show up, and that might be something amazing. So it's a long game, folks, and hang in there and do it because you love it.
Great. Pat?
Okay, I'm about halfway through my class with Screenwrite U. So I'll be working heavily on that. We're getting down to the writing stage, actually, instead of just the investigation stage. I also have the Shriekfest Film Fest coming up at the end of September. So I have to look on the website and see everybody that's going to be there that made the finalists with films and scripts, and write down names so I know who's who, and I have something to talk about when I get there. Yeah, that should keep me pretty busy, and whatever other idea pops into my head gets scribbled down.
Yes, keep writing down everything, because you never know when you can use it in the future.
Oh yeah.
Rosie?
Oh, okay. So I think I'm just gonna, again, like I'm always inspired coming to these meetings and to get into a routine, because right now general work is so unpredictable. So I still need to figure out, like, trying to figure out my routine for writing. Is it every day? Is it just binge writing on the weekends? But I do want to just finish up a couple of solid, a couple more short films, and then do something with it, either submit it online or to people, or kind of just get the ball rolling there. And then to continue up with the leads that everyone has so graciously mentioned or uploaded in these meetings and all those kind of webinars and things like that to continue, enriching my craft and just kind of learning more and being curious about it. And then also that will probably take me the 2 weeks. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not probably going to be able to do more. If I can, great. But you know what, we'll just start with that. And then I'll see you guys at the next meeting and talking about pitching. So
Great.
be fun.
Karen.
Finish that book. That's my main thing. And it should be done then, because the 15th is my due date, or else my head will be on a platter. That's everything right now.
Good. Doug McDougall.
All right, so I'm going to be working on my storyboard for Cinderella, some character development, actually getting down to the nitty-gritty of actually writing various scenes, working on my first draft. One thing which came to mind as we were talking throughout tonight is, besides on the September 6th, Christine talking about those character squares, I would like to share with the group how to use the Zoom platform to facilitate a table read of your script and everything that's available to people if you ever wanted to go that route, to have a table read of your script and what kind of bells and whistles you can put into it. Sound good?
Well, depending how long your character squares are, or we may have to do that in the next 2 weeks after that.
I'd say character squares is only about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So Alex, you'll have a lot to tell us when we meet again.
Yeah, but my main focus will be, some of you know, Julian's a member of a writers group. We call it The Circle. So we're meeting this Thursday. I have to come back from out of town by that time to be there to host a meeting. I'm trying to put Fridays aside to read people's scripts that they send me and do my own writing. So I have 104 days to take off from my university job. So my boss knows that I'm kind of calling in sick every Friday and start using those days off. So he knows, unless there's something big that I have to be a part of. So I'm typically only working 4 days at the clinic, Fridays off to read people's materials, to do my own writing. I think I've mentioned to people, if you didn't know, I have a preemie baby and I'm writing a family-driven comedy script based on this event. My daughter was a preemie. So right now I'm actually concentrating on the 6-page proof of concept, because I work for Absurd Hero Productions that maybe had to make me a proof of concept for next to nothing. So I'm using my connection with that. Then those of you, thank you all who came to Flow. Mark, Pauline, Doug was there, Pat, I think he popped in. I think he popped in this time. Rosie popped in. No, actually Rosie stayed for the whole thing. I remember Rosie. It's just wonderful glasses. You're a wonderful person, Rosie. The glasses, they would catch my attention. Christine didn't make it this week. She was busy shopping, maybe, for furniture for the office. But I got some major rewriting to do on the Flow scripts. And I'm on a deadline for that, because if you didn't know, quick announcement, the University of Miami's film school has agreed to shoot one of the scripts this fall.
Yay!
Yeah, really cool. So we have 10 scripts in this pilot project. We've taken all the writers were nice enough to send me their scripts again with no names on the cover page. We're going to submit them to a small team at the university. So I think David Frank will be there, the dean of the film school, probably maybe some professors or student producers or something like that. And then Nikki, my writing wife, who's one of the producers, she'll be representing us as the company. And then they'll vet the scripts and choose our top 2. And then we'll walk down the top 2 to one we're going to shoot now, and one I'm going to try to twist the university's arm to shoot the next semester in the spring. That's why I've asked them to choose 2. So that'll be exciting. As EP, myself and David, we are going to put up some money to pay for the shoot. So the actors will get a small stipend, the crew will get a small stipend, and we'll probably end with maybe trying to get someone's to help maybe shoot like a behind the scenes video. Maybe I can get someone to do that for me, and then that'll be our gift to the writer. You'll have a credited film, plus you'll get a gift of like a behind the scenes video of your film being made. I think that'll be kind of a cool thing. So that's where we are with that. Big shout out to all my friends across the border at the GTA. Those of you who don't know, in America, GTA is Greater Toronto Area. The film group from there have also now connected to some of their own production companies, and they're busy doing shoots, which is great because I think Doug just got connected to Kat, one of the producers. So again, making connections, you know, Doug may land an acting role in one of their films. You just never know. And as you know, they're all doing a table read of my pilot, of my mini-series episode. So episode 3 is on the 11th. And then they're graciously going to be reading Mark's script on the 25th. And then Julian's is going to be the horror night around about Halloween. So big shout out to the GTA. They're wonderful, just amazing. And they do a lot of my table reads for my productions. So they're mega cool. And we've slowly starting to send them gifts. And then lastly, I just sent you an email, Christine. I'd like to consider doing something for that ESL project. You know me, I'm an educator at heart. So. And everybody, happy writing and be nice to everybody you meet, okay?
Okay, Pauline.
I will be filming my comedy short and starting to edit it. And I will also be working on my budget for the feature film, as well as a pitch deck. And I look forward to the presentation on creating pitch decks.
Good. Okay, Nick.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so piggyback on what Rosie mentioned, I'm always looking forward to the bi-weekly meetings. Thanks, Christine, for hosting it. And, I'm learning a lot. But back before then, before I joined the group, I was just looking at Facebook group posts, and that was just, overwhelming me, so this meetup gives a lot of consistency and structure. I'm averaging only around 6 hours a week outside of my full-time job, but I try to keep consistent. So whatever I can do. But yeah, I write notes during the meetings and all the links, so I review them too, and that's been really helpful. And the emails that you send out have them saved. So, but yeah, right now, my current script, Luna What's Muna, is probably considered a short, but I'm still in the rewriting phase, and I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna maybe just work on a little bit of rewriting. Review some of the links that was on the chat, and work on the Prosperous Milk Carton, the short suspense series that I'm working on. So maybe, I think, again, I mentioned it before, what helps me the most is just reading up suspense scripts or scripts that are similar. There's a really good show called Cruel Summer on Hulu that I watched, and I want to make it something like that, but maybe, in my own context. But yeah, if I could get the script of that or any other, the show called You on Netflix, maybe if I could read up the actual script from that, that'd be great. So just reading up scripts and rewriting and editing and just getting the format and grammar. Those 4 things I'm working on. But I really feel that I've progressed as a writer in the last year, and I'm really thankful. So looking forward to the next meeting.
Good. Mark Spira.
Hey, I'm gonna, as we were having this meeting, I guess the guy from that John Goldwyn Productions reached out to me. I was just telling Alex. So I have to figure out now how to get him a pitch deck. So that should be a lot of fun. I will wander aimlessly through that effort. I might run it by Alex before I send it in, but if he would be so kind to view it. But yeah, it's a great contact. I wasn't expecting that, and yeah, it's very exciting. I think, actually the pilot is probably the best thing I've written. So that makes me feel good, right? It's a little bit of affirmation for the effort. And yeah, I'm with Alex. I'm just doing this, man. I just want to see something get made, and yeah, it's kind of all about the art and having fun. And so what's the other thing? Yeah, so that's what I'll be working on, and I will be definitely tuning in 2 weeks from now on the pitch deck tutorial. So thanks a lot.
Good.
And Christine, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Keith. You have to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Mark, I have a Westworld one somewhere around here. I'm looking on my computer now to see if I can find it, but I do have a Westworld pitch deck that somebody gave me a while back. So
Yeah, it's really good. I have the same one.
Oh, they awesome.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's very good.
I'd love to see it. I'm just trying to get some ideas on how to put this thing together.
If you can't find it, I'll email it to Mark. If you can't find it, I'll just email it to Mark.
I think I have it on my desktop. I just got to make sure it's up to date. I made some changes to it, so I got to change some stuff around.
You made your own version.
I just found it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I appreciate that. It'd be great. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
Keith, what will you be working on the next 2 weeks?
Well, I will be writing. I sent a link to my web series. So the main web page, the website page. And it's just going to be rewriting. I wrote a lot of stuff prior to the pandemic that, looking back on it, I'm going to have to take out and, make some changes to it. Obviously, some actors just had to drop out, and some actors got out of acting. Some actors, have kids now, or, lifestyle changes, things like that. And of course, locations. We lost several locations due to COVID. Went out of business, so making changes to that. The other thing is that I have a short film that I did off of, it's on Amazon, that I've been tinkering around with doing a feature for a while now. And this past year it's been very helpful in inspiring me to find ways to how to do it, and what kind of budget, and what kind of movie I want to make, and that. So those are the two things that I'm currently doing at this time. These meetings, I've seen these meetings on LinkedIn. I've always wanted to attend. I've always been kind of tied up with other stuff, but this is great. You guys really have a great rapport. You're from all over the place. You have a lot of knowledge. Nobody's really tied to one different genre. You got romance, you got comedy, you got sci-fi. It's a very diverse interest. You've got horror. You've got, so this is it's very inspiring. So, in the weeks to come, I'll have something more. I definitely will have something more to offer. But yeah, really appreciate it. But that's what I got for right now.
Good. Kumar, what will you be doing the next couple of weeks?
Okay, thank you. So we have a animated story called Lion and the Mouse. We are finishing that up. Probably I'll share by next week. And I will actually I'll make a goal to finish the beat sheet of my script, Max and Luke. And I have signed up yesterday only the Kids Screen Summit, and I'm going to send a lot of communication to a lot of executive producers. Actually, I don't know. I'm really confused that whom should I approach for these animation work surveys? Should I approach to the executive producers, or should I write to directly the head onco of the company studios? So I keep on a general note, I'll keep sending notes to executive producers that I have an animation studio. We work on these genres, a lot of things. So in these 2 weeks, probably these are the 3 tasks which I'll do. I'll send out to 100 communications, and I'll finish that beat sheet, and I'll finish that Lion and the Mouse story, and I'll share a lot of things in the next meeting. Yeah.
Good. Annemie, are you able to tell us what you'll be working on?
Yes. Okay, so in the next 2 weeks, I'm actually editing some content with my friend that she's helping me out as well. So I'm gonna be working on that. I'm also in the last month of film school. I was with the Los Angeles Film School. This is my last academic year, and I graduate this year. It's been a long ride, so I'm looking forward to that. And just writing, I write every day, so that's my thing since
Great.
I was 17. So that's what I'll be doing.
Good.
And thank you so much for this platform. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good. So myself, I have to look and redo the Bible for my small town mystery TV pilot, and have to do the editing for my Christmas script. And like I said, every day I'm writing something for my Martian novella. And I'll let you know how this editing process has gone with this Chinese publisher, because they said it's going to take 3 weeks normally for it to be edited, because it has to go through 5 different people. And so that'll be interesting. But for those who have contacted me, I'll send you my contact person and the website that you can read about. And like I said, they want to see an example of your writing. And what they had with me, they had a half an hour Zoom meeting, and then you decide if you want to take on the project after they send you all the details. So it's a lot of reading to do the first couple of days to find out about all the characters and everything, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so everybody keep well and keep writing and filming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, Monday the 16th. And Alex will be telling us about pitch decks on that time. Okay, so if I get any webinars or any information to share, I'll be sending it all out to you. Okay, thanks for coming tonight. And, we'll see you then. Bye for now.